So Randy, you've played a lot of strong roles, and you've really kind of broken into this industry um, from just wanting to do it, which is very admirable. And you're a woman coming into this. How do you think stepping into this primarily male-dominated field? Um, what was your experience with that?
Um, I mentioned before I have a strong personality. Sometimes men and women alike can feel intimidated by that. Um, Not that that really has anything to do with it, but in a way it does. I think that coming into the film industry as a female actor is one thing. Coming into it as a filmmaker, producer,
Hmm.
totally different side to it. It, like you said, it is male dominated, and you gotta hope that you're going to be working with other crew members that are just respectful of that. I'm not here to tell you what to do or to tell my DP, my DP, my director. No, we are all equal, and I think it's been a little harder for women, absolutely, because of the male dominated aspect of it. But I don't know. I was going to actually segue into saying I think it starts at home. I think it starts at home. Um, Women empowerment. I know growing up that I was a tomboy. I climbed trees. I played sports. My mom played sports when I was a little kid, and I saw that you know girls don't have to be in dresses, and it's okay. That even back then, my daughter, who is graduating high school this year and continuing on to a business college, you know, that's a business is a huge male dominated
Yeah.
industry. And I like to say she did, but I do hope that she saw it coming from home first. And I think that's how it's going to continue in society. It starts at home, and women know, well, I could do the same thing a man can do, but mostly. I'm not going to be one of those people that say, well, I could lift 300 pounds, because I can't. I just can't. But with other things, yeah, why can't I be a woman, be a DP and be just as good as you,
Yeah.
or, somebody else?
Yeah, we're talking about ideas here. There's no limitations.
No, no, there shouldn't be. And, you got to get that in their head too, that, and, you say it to school kids in middle school, you say it in high school, they have, assemblies,
Mm-hmm.
and they're having people talk and say, you're as strong as this, or you could do this, and put your mind to it. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to apply it. But also, like you said, who's your role model? So if you see somebody doing it, well, maybe I could do that too. There are no limits.
Yeah.
So I know I get very passionate about it.
Well, as you should be. I mean, it's your work. It's your role. It's your life.
Yeah, yeah.
I was always very taken with the fact that I edit,
Mm,
and a lot of famous um, films have been edited by women.
yeah,
Um, Quentin Tarantino worked with Sally Menke, um, Martin Scorsese, Thelma Schumacher. So,
yes,
like, there's always been women behind the scenes,
absolutely.
and now we're just getting to a point where I feel like we're just so saturated with like the same content over and over that we need some diversity in the storytelling, in the perspective. I think is where I see the biggest change.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to just kind of piggyback on what you said as far as um, females being involved in the editing process. But also now, if you look around, especially in indie filmmaking, the directors, there's, I know quite a number of female directors, and they are good. directors, and they're strong and they know what they want, and they've earned respect. They really have. So I think that that's great for the younger generation to look up to. Why shouldn't they be?
Yeah. And now you can see them doing.
Yeah. And I just also wanted to mention, for Della Morte Sisters, our director, Bill Sorvino, it was his directorial debut. He was so open to the other producer, Judith DiDonato, and I, with our ideas. He was so good about that. And I love that, because I understand a director goes into a film, they'll read the script, and they have like a certain, not knowledge about it, but they have a certain way that they're already thinking in their head how they want to film it, what they want the shots to be. And I love that he was so open to suggestions. I had suggestions, Judy had. We were a female dominating cast, the three sisters, along with Deborah Toscano. And I don't really want to give away what the story is about, but it was a not a task, but working with these people that I mentioned before, all these different level, a higher level than what I was used to. They were just so, again, open to our input and our views and our opinions, and that really makes you feel good, as a woman filmmaker. So sorry, I kind of went off a little on that.
Yeah, it's being a collaborator and seeing that this film, your leads are three women.
Yeah.
You're telling the story from the woman's perspective, so that input is valuable. And I feel like maybe if the movie was made 20 years ago, it would have been predominantly male perspective, telling a story about women. I mean,
well, that's what I loved about Andrew, the writer, and Bill involving us, and like you said, collaborating. They're male, we're female, and Andrew might have written a line that I said, I would never say this. I understand I'm not I'm Randi and I'm not Juliana Della Morte in real life, but a woman's not going to say this. So you have to find that, that medium where you're both willing to also meet, because again, you don't want to step on any writer's toes and cross the boundary, and they know what they're doing. That's their forte.
Right. And so they definitely have a direction that they want it to go in, but I know that the kind of cliche saying is, men think a little more logically and women are a little more emotionally. I think there's varying degrees of that, but it is you would approach it from a different place, I would feel.
Right. And you're absolutely right when you say that, with how men think and how women, think, and the differences. But I think when you are putting together a film, it's, that's the beauty of being able to collaborate, getting the different views and getting different, ideas that bring the film together. But you're not going to do that unless you're open to it.
Yeah.
And there are filmmakers out there who are set, they want what they want, and that's fine too. This happened to be a project that it was a collaboration of wonderful minds and different ideas. So I think I'm really proud of that too. In addition to everything else, I think I'm really proud of them and us.
Yeah, and you speak a lot about the collaboration and wanting to speak up, but maybe doing it tactfully, from the way I've heard you describe it. Not. I mean, obviously, you don't want to go up and say, "I would never say this." You don't want to be that actor, but
no, but ever.
No, it doesn't work, because the next one.
Like I heard about her. I heard about that Randi Sloane. You don't want to work with her. She's a hustle.
Well, it's funny to to bring back the male dominated thing and just the whole mindset. When I was a news producer at my college,
Hmm.
I had a very good friend who, she was actually the reason I had jumped up to being news producer, because she had done it the previous year.
Okay.
And she was so good. She was so like commanding and definitive, and you got to get over here. And I respected that so much. But every time to this day when we talk about it, she's like, "Oh, I was such a bitch." It's like, no, like you got shit done.
Yeah.
You're a good producer, so
Yeah.
there is a mindset to be overcome.
Yeah. I mean, I work with, I have a sort of a girl that a friend, a very good dear friend of mine, Megan Martin. She and I, like, I feel like, she'll come on as line producer, she'll be my associate producer. I can't work without her in any project. I'm doing a Zoom reading next week. I had to have her on board. I was coordinating it. You know, I think that people in the beginning might be a little like, what are these two about? Or, you know, she's the sweetest thing in the world. She's from West Virginia. Her and I together are very funny because I'm so New York, and she has like such class, and sometimes it's just very funny. But I think that I know what I like on a set. In any of the films that I've produced, I want an organized set. I want a respectful set. And thank God, knock on wood, I've had the pleasure of working with wonderful crew members, cast members, actors, everything. And everything's really been pretty cool. But I wouldn't be afraid to say something if, there was disrespect on my set. No, if there was disrespect on the set,
Yeah.
I'm not standing for it. And you don't have to be a bitch about it. You don't, you could, like you said, with tact. And it's all in the approach. It's all how you speak to somebody. And, I think that that's so important because everybody on set is important. I don't care if you're the DP, I don't care if you're the AD, the first cameraman, a PA. Everybody is important. And without these people, you're not having a film or you're not having a TV show and nothing. So, you could be, you know, what's the word? You could have an organized set or a professional set, but you don't have to be abrasive. You
Hmm.
know, you have to respect people. That's just my thing.
Sure. Well, it's all about it's like work. To a degree, it is work. You have to get along with the people you're
Right.
working with. Like
I
even
mean,
if it's
what's
just for one day, you're there for
exactly? I mean,
hours.
what's the expression? Um, and what is it? A happy employee is an efficient
Yeah.
employee.
Right.
Well, same thing on set. They're going to give you their best work if they're happy and they feel respected. So if they're not respectful, well, then we're going to have a problem. But no, it's all good.
Yeah. Great parting words. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Randy.
yeah. Thank you.
Where can we see your previous work?
Well, my website has a lot of clips. That's randysloaneactor.com. And then you could always find me on Facebook, of course. Randy with Randee, Sloane, Sloane, or my actor page on Facebook is probably better. Randi Sloane, Randi. I know it's confusing. And then Sloane, or on Instagram at Randy Actor27, Randee Actor27.
All right.
And Twitter, I always forget. Randi Sloane, I think.
They'll find it. I'll put all those links in the description so you guys
Awesome.
don't have to look around for all the different Randi Sloanes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thank you for
really,
going.
thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being here and for chatting about such cool topics.
And thank you for being so cool.
Oh, always. Thanks for going indie depth.
Thanks.